Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I will be teaching you how to create Excel dashboards using this raw data. So this is the Excel dashboard which I will be teaching you how to create it using this raw data. So these dashboards will be useful whenever you present any sales report to your clients. So client will be able to he or she will be easily understand the data by looking at this data. So by selecting these values, he can easily understand how we can create and how we can analyze his sales performance. So these dashboards will make your job, will make your life easy because these are very much effective and easy to create as well. So without wasting any time, let's create this kind of dashboards in Excel and let's do it. So before creating a dashboard, we need to understand the data, the raw data here, which we have. This is a sales data. So here we have the order ID, order date, ship mode, customer ID, customer name, segment, country, city, state, postal code, and category and subcategory as well. So using this data, let's create the dashboard now. Before creating a dashboard, let's create a new sheet and name it as dashboard for our understanding. So let's start by creating this subcategory wise order quantity data here. So before starting, we have to select the entire raw data by pressing Ctrl A and press Ctrl backspace to go up. And now let's insert the pivot table. So for creating a dashboard like this, we don't need any formulas. We only need pivot tables. So let's make use of the pivot tables. So after selecting the raw data, let's click on pivot table and use the default option, which is new worksheet, and click OK. Now after clicking OK, choose the values which we want from this column chart. What are those values? We want subcategory and order quantity, right? So let's select the subcategory first. Either you can choose it from here or else you can use the search bar as well, right? So subcategory I've selected and now I'm selecting the quantity data. Now after selecting the subcategory and quantity, we need to insert the pivot chart. So go to pivot table analyze, click on pivot chart. Use the default clustered column option here and click on OK. Now once we have created a pivot chart, we need to cut it down and paste it in our dashboard, right? Because this is where we are creating our main dashboard. So let's bring the dashboard here and let's make it beautiful and customized with few templates. So right now I'm selecting this template and let's add the data labels, and let's rename this chart. So what is the chart name? Subcategory wise order quantity, right? Let's rename category wise order quantity. Let's decrease the size of the font. Right. Now we have successfully got the first chart here. Now let's move on to this one, order quantity timeline. So once again we need to follow the same process for creating a pivot chart. Let's select the raw data. Click on insert, click on pivot table, use the default new worksheet option and click OK. Now for this second column chart, we need order quantity and timeline, right? So also for order quantity, select the order date and quantity, right? You only need these two options, right? So if you click on this year data, you will find this quarter one, quarter two, and quarter four, right? So now if you need, suppose if you need month data also, then you need to right click on this data and click on group. Then you will find month, days, hours, and every other options whichever you need, you can select it from here, right? For this case, we only need quarter data, so I am selecting only quarter data now. Once again, let's go to pivot table and click on pivot chart and use the default clustered column option here and click OK. Now once again, cut this option and paste it in our dashboard, main dashboard. Now once again, resize this based on your dashboard dimensions. Once again, I will choose another theme and use the data labels option here as well, right? And let's rename this as order quantity timeline, right? So order quantity timeline. Now let's decrease the font size to 12. Now we have created both the column charts. These column charts we both created now. Let's move on to the donut chart. So what this is, these are called the donut charts. Let's create this one now, which is segment wise order quantity. Now once again, the process will be same for the donut chart as well. Uh, let's insert a pivot table, new worksheet, and what are the items we need to select here? That is segment and order quantity. So let's select segment and quantity, right? Now once again, let's go to pivot table, click on pivot chart. This time we need a donut chart. So for selecting a donut chart, we need to select the pie chart first and use the last option here. So and click OK. So this is the donut chart. Let's cut it here and let's paste it here, right? Now let's customize this as well. Let's make it small. Let's remove this legend option and let's customize the chart accordingly. So this is good, and let's remove the legend option, and now let's add the segment values here. So to add the segment values, go to data tables, click on more options and click on category names, right? Now we have added the category names as well. Let's decrease the font size and name this donut chart as segment wise order quantity, right? Segment wise order quantity. Now let's decrease the font size of this as well. Now we have created our first donut chart here. Now let's create the second donut chart, which is profit by region. Once again, let's follow the same process. Here we need profit by region, right? Now in this case, we don't need the decimal values. So in order to remove the decimal values, go to the home ribbon and use this decrease decimal options, and the decimals will be removed. Now let's again insert the pivot chart. Let's click on pie and click on donut chart. Cut the chart from here and paste it here, right? Now let's resize the dimensions of the chart as per our main dashboard. uh, let's resize. Let's change the theme of the donut chart. Let's use this option again and let's remove the legends option and insert the category values, category names. And let's decrease the font size of this a bit. And let's rename this donut chart as profit region by profit, profit by region, profit by region. And let's decrease the font size by 10. Now we have come to the half stage of our dashboard. Now 50% of the dashboard is already done. Now we are left with another 50%, which we will be doing it right now. Let's adjust this charts so it will be looking good. Right. Now let's move on to our next chart, which is which are these things, the drop downs which you are seeing here. Let's create this now. So we are done with this now. Let's move on to this one. First, let's create the ship mode segment and region. Again, let's follow the same process. Insert a pivot table, use a new worksheet, and use the ship mode option. And for this data, we need to use the insert slicer option here. So these are nothing. These are called the slicers. So whatever you are looking here in the blue color are called slicers. So let's insert the first slicer, which is ship mode and segment and region. Now let's to insert a slicer again go back to pivot table, analyze and click on insert slicer. Now here we have to use select ship mode, segment, date, and click OK. Now we have successfully inserted the slicers. So first one was ship mode, segment, and region. So and let's insert another slicer as well here. So let's first add this option. So let's do it again. So let's go to pivot, insert slicer, use ship mode, segment, date, and region. Right? We need these four slicers now. So let's insert them one by one to our main dashboard. Now let's start with the ship mode. Cut this slicer from here and paste it here. Let's paste the slicer here. Now reduce the dimensions of the slicer and bring it here. Right? Now we have successfully pasted our first slicer here. Now reduce a little bit. And what is the next slicer? It is segment and region. Now let's cut the segment, paste it here. Now again reduce the dimensions of the slicer. Right, now again go back to sheet 7 and cut region and paste it here. The process is same for all the pivot charts or even the slicers. Just we need to make use of the raw data and create the pivot charts to get this to make this dashboard. Now we have successfully inserted the slicers in our dashboard. Now let's bring it a bit closer. Right. Now we have inserted this three slicers successfully. Now the next slicer is the state. Now let's cut it from here and paste it here. Now, now if you want to increase the columns for the state, so select this option, click on slicer and use the column option here. So the number of columns will get increased, right? So this is one way of utilizing the column option here. And let's drag it till here. So the name of the states will be visible for us. Now we have successfully inserted this slicer as well, the slicer. Now, um, now the next step is to create this slicer, which is period-wise slicer. Now let's create that one as well. Uh, Once again, go to data, click on pivot, use the new worksheet. And what is this slicer? This is year-wise and quarter data. Now use this order date and click OK. And from here you can select the quarter data or else years data, else days data. It's based upon your data which you want to showcase here, right? So now cut this option from here and paste it in our main dashboard, which goes here, right? Now let's align these as well. Let's drag it till here and let's bring back this data a little bit down. Select all the data here. Let's move it a bit down. And also let's bring these column charts down as well. Use the shift button while doing this activity because it selects both the charts simultaneously. You can use the drag option. So now we have almost completed our dashboard. Uh, Now just we need to uh, test the data whether this data is working based upon these slicers or not. So to test the data, now let's select the segment which is consumer and let's select the state. So if you observe here, the data here is not yet changed, right? So if I select this data and select this state, the data here it is not changing. So to make this data work here, we need to select these slicers, right click on it and click on report connections. So here we need to select our pivot sheets. So wherever we created the pivot sheets, we need to select those sheets here. So let's select sheet 3, sheet 4, sheet 5 and 6, 7, 8 and click OK. Right now in the same way we need to do the connections for the rest of the other slicers as well. Report connections, select the sheets, sheet 5, sheet 6 and sheet 8 and click OK. Once again do the same for this as well. Report connections, select the sheets data and click on OK. And let's do this for the state values as well. Sheet 5, 6 and 8. Now we have successfully reported the connections. Now let's test this data now. Let's see if the values get changed or not. Now if you observe here, the values are getting customized. So based on my selection, the values are getting changed in this column charts and donut charts, right? Now let's select consumer segment, and for the state Florida, right? So you see my selection. I have selected the consumer as my segment, and the region is Florida, which is in the south region, and ship mode is first class. Right? Now, my four selections data is being displayed here. Right? If you observe the data clearly, let me remove the filters again, and let me show you the values once again. Now let's in the ship mode, let me select the same day, and in the segment I will select corporate, and in the region I will select as Maryland. Now you can see this data is only belongs to these four selections. So this data belongs to the corporate segment from Maryland state, and ship mode is same day. So in that way we can use these slicers to make the selections dynamic, and the report will be easy to understand, because using these selections we can easily identify the performance of the sales data, and we can also select the years data as well. So based on this year's data, we can get these numbers as well. So we you can your client can play around with this dashboard whenever he wants. So this is how we can create this dynamic dashboards using raw data. To make it more easy to understand, let's insert this headline here. Uh, let's insert the symbol headline here. Let's insert the headline. Let's go to home. Let's go to illustration, go to shapes, and select this shape here and click on drag it till here, right? Now right. I hope you can see the dashboard now. Now let's insert the text here. So what is this data about? So this is the sales report data for year 2014 and 17. So let's type it. Right. So this is our headline, and let's make it bold. Now, uh, now we have given a meaningful information about this dashboard and what this dashboard is about. Let's make it more beautified by removing the grid lines behind this data by going to page layout and remove the grid lines view. And let's also customize this data by using our uh, colors. You can use a number of you can customize these sliders with any brand colors. Let's do this by click on this data, go to slicer, and use any of these options. So you can use any of these color options to select the brand color. So right now I'm using this yellow option, and so let's color this one as well. Go to timeline and select this, and go to this one and select, right. Now if you see how beautiful this entire dashboard is looking. right? So in this way you can create dashboards in Excel using this raw data and using this entire raw data and using pivot tables, right? So I hope you understood the process of creating this Excel dashboards using in Excel using pivot tables and raw data. If you have any questions, please comment below. I will reply to your comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.